All right, so I feel as though there are two things that I love about Top. One, the friendly environment. Everyone is super nice. It's a pretty relaxed environment too. I always feel safe and comfortable when I'm in a Top show, and I feel as though I can talk to anyone in the cast or anyone on the CT. Everyone's extremely supportive and friendly. And then there are some little things that I love, the traditions. That's the other thing I love. At the start of every rehearsal, the CT will ask, give a high, a low, and a buffalo. A high is something positive, a low is something negative, and then a buffalo is a fun question. It could be, what music genre would your character listen to? Or what food do you think your character resembles the most? So I think all of its little traditions that Top incorporates kind of fosters a friendly and loving environment. Oh, and then another thing is, in every show, we make sure to incorporate the line, "Onwards, lusty gentlemen." So it's thrown into the show somewhere, and then usually the crowd cheers when they hear it.
So an example of what a workshop would be at one of the middle schools that we partner with is that when we show up, we first do a little introduction of what our club is and what we do, and then we'll talk about the show that we're currently doing and talk about the themes in that show, kind of the plot, why we're choosing to do such a show. And then we will do a large group activity, like an icebreaker, like we did a dance when we did an 80s themed show, so we did like a little 80s warm up. And then we'll break out into smaller groups, so we'll have like 2 Top members per like 8 or 10 kids. And then in those small groups, they'll do theater games like Zip Zap Zop, Honey I Love You, and Bang. Those are some of our favorites, but it's really kind of whatever the Fordham students want to do. And then after we do those little games or warm-ups, we also do icebreakers like going on a picnic where you have to like choose something that you're bringing to the picnic that matches the first letter of your name. So that's a really nice way to get to know the kids individually and like start remembering their names. And then we do some theater-related element that correlates with the show that we're doing at the time. So we'll get to do things like writing a skit together or performing raps for each other, just things that after they work on it individually, they can perform in front of the rest of the grade. So it's a really fun way to get them all involved, engage, and then kind of share their theater with each other.
All right, what separates Top from other theater groups on campus? Top has an outreach component, and what that means is every show we go out into the community and we perform little skits and games for students at a public elementary school, and that's really fun to engage with the community because it just kind of bridges the gap between Fordham and the community, and the kids love it. They're always laughing and smiling, and they love to participate. They're super enthusiastic, and I think it's also a great way to spread the arts.
Okay, so one thing that I think is really interesting about Top's culture and compared to the other groups is that we share the space with the mimes in the Collins Auditorium, and so we really only have 1 week to build our set and do our tech week in the space that we're doing it in. So all of our rehearsals are done in classrooms around campus, which I think is really unique to the rehearsal space because we're able to put on like the high-low buffaloes. We're able to do more like team bonding and like just hanging out with each other. We do cast bonding and cast calf, so we all like get dinner together beforehand and stuff. So I think it's really helpful to kind of have those rehearsals just casually in classrooms, and then it's really a fun free-for-all with each other when we're on stage building our set and like really in the space with the costumes, because then it's a very high-pressure situation, but not in like it's overly too stressful or anything. I think it's like just the right amount of stress and excitement too, because we're finally in a space that it's tech week and it's really exciting, and then we just have to put it on in a week. So it's really fun.